Hey, Phil from Got Memories. In this video, VHS audio, okay? Something that people don't necessarily think about, whether it's clear, crisp, it has this buzzing audio sound on it, which can come from dirty audio heads, which, you know, these VCRs need constant, listen to this. Sometimes you can still hear it. So, to me, my standards, that is not acceptable. And this is common. You've got to listen when you put tapes in. You know, if you're having a company doing this or you're doing it yourself, you've got to hear this and you're like, okay, is that acceptable? Because sometimes I get it and it's even louder than that. But the previous videotape was absolutely fine. And then you put this tape in, it's buzzing. Then you put just another random tape in and it's clear as day. I see this quite a bit with like duplicated tapes. Like this has come from like it's a production. And sometimes their VCRs, where they were duplicating it from VHS to VHS, if their heads were dirty or there was a problem with the VCR and it was recorded that way. But what I do is I kind of run down the line because it's never like the be all and end all. See, it's perfectly fine on this one. No buzzing whatsoever. So this is, part of just the situation with these videotapes. See, look, zero buzzing audio, and also making sure that the audio is boosted as well. So yeah, just something that is very common. As I'm working through these tapes right now on this particular job, I see that there's a lot of duplicated in production stuff. So if you are transferring your own videotapes and you're coming across this kind of stuff, you need to have, as I tell everyone, if you're DIYing this, you need to have a minimum of 3 VCRs, ideally 5, different brands, Sony, Panasonic, just as a secondary guess, because if you are running these things and people are trying to do it themselves and they're like, oh, my tape is going crap. No, it more than likely is the player. Yes, dirty heads, these things need constant cleaning, maintaining, alignment, all of these things. And they're all, 25 to 45 years old, the videotapes and the players. And if you're buying them on eBay, my goodness, but you got to understand that they're going to be 30 to 45 years old, whatever the number is. But they've been handed down from, over the last decade to 2 decades of people digitizing their videotapes to DVD and files, and might have been handed down from 10 different people buying them to digitize their clogged up junk that's been sitting in their garage for decades, covered in mold and dust and God knows what. And then, or it's just completely worn out. Case in point here, this is very typical. Customer dropped off these tapes and I'm like, okay, first glance, there's dust, they're scratched up. These are typical, but look, you can tell they've been stuck in the garage, in the heat, in Phoenix. They're just dirty, no mold here in the Valley of the Sun because it's a dry heat. But look, they drop them off and they're like, oh, it's just, even this won't even flip. Look, it's this one. This is so typical. People just have not been taking good care of their tapes. And if you're sending them off to a company like Legacy Box, South 3 Codec Digitizing, look, all this has to come off. Look, this I peel off because this can get stuck. Look at this here. Look, there's a gap there. That is potentially going to get jammed in the VCR, get stuck. It's silliness. Obviously, I keep it, but I just reattach it afterwards. But, this is dusty. I got to clean all these off because all this dust and grime goes inside the VCRs, and that's what contributes to the clogging of the video heads and audio heads. And no one really talks about audio clarity, audio levels. What I see from other transfer companies when it comes to audio is the buzzing and also very low levels. Like, you just can't hear anything like that. They're not boosting the audio. But what I'm suspecting, especially with Legacy Box Codec Digitizing Southtree, they are, from what I can see on the digital files, they're transferring it to VHS first. So they're dubbing it VHS to DVD, and then they're ripping the DVD with handbrake. Or not even handbrake. And the levels, whenever you rip DVDs to a file, handbrake, and all these things, you have to boost the audio. And it's just a telltale sign of audio levels being low is it's been ripped or ripped poorly. Within software like Elgato that I use most of the time for most of my transfers, and yes, the trolls out there are like, go start your own business and start doing your own stuff in higher spec and using all types of different software and everything like that. You'll soon realize how much work is involved and the instability of other programs, and where you've got to make money doing this at a reasonable price. You can't be doing all this fancy bells and whistles stuff for what the average consumer is expecting to pay, which is, based on Legacy Box, $9 a videotape. Like, forget it. Blank videotapes in the day cost $20-25. Back in the early 80s, what do you think 40 years later, to do a real-time 2-hour transfer with bing, quality is going to be that. Anyway, so yeah, the digressing, as I say in my videos a lot, the general public, because of these asshole companies that are just scamming the hell out of people, and I got videos covered on that, the price point is designed so people get their stuff out of the box and they're like, oh, $400 to do all my stuff, yay. Don't check reviews, they don't check YouTube, they don't check anything, and they get back nothing or junk transfers, and then they realize, oh, the going rate is a lot higher for, reality-based pricing. This is all fake pricing, run by charlatans, grifters, So, yeah. Anyway, but so if you are doing this yourself, you're going to need a lot of equipment. You're going to need to learn how to fix VCRs, because there are no VCR repair places around. Luckily, I'm next door to Tim, but he does not take mail order. It's walk-in only in the Phoenix area. But as he will demonstrate or talks about as well, is you can fix or clean a VCR and you put 2 tapes in and run them, and then guess what? The picture's looking all crappy again because the oxide on the tape's coming off and depositing onto the video heads. Video heads can no longer read the information, and therefore that's where you get all the static, loss of picture, jumpy picture, fuzzy audio, all of that stuff. So it's just a constant cleaning. It's like cleaning your car and then going out and driving it through mud and then complaining to you're the person that washed your car. My car's dirty. Well, yeah, you just used it. And that's the same type of analogy, as best as I can give, with these videotapes, because it's constant. I have today, look, clean, bad audio, low audio. This one here is taken to pieces. I'm having to open up right now. This is what a quality-driven transfer company has to be doing, is maintaining equipment. And this is why all these transfer companies are just handing back trash and making excuses, because people's tapes are old and they have not taken care of them, i.e. that over there. And so they're just ending up giving a perfect excuse. Oh, your tapes are old, you didn't take care of them. People go, oh no. And then they don't have a VCR to play back and second guess. But for the few people that do have VCRs and go, wait a minute, I just ran these tapes and they were perfect, and this what I got back is crap. That's when they go through and contact these companies and say, hey, maybe get a response, a BS kind of canned response. And the reason they're getting crap transfers is because they're not maintaining their equipment, they're not cleaning stuff, they're not maintaining anything, and they're not. So you think that your stuff not going to happen to me, but you've taken really good care of your stuff, kept it indoors, in the cases, in a sealed container, which hopefully, please do that, or you haven't, you got, so the person that left their stuff out in the garage for the past 38 years in Biloxi, Mississippi, in the humidity and storms and everything clogged in crap, are going in VCRs, clogging the VCRs, then your pristine stuff is going in those same VCRs and it looks like crap because the previous customer's stuff is crap and they haven't cleaned anything. And the labor force in these companies, they're just cherry picking them out of anywhere. There's no skill. Like basically, hi, do you have a heartbeat? Can you speak? Can you, are your hands working? Okay, great. Get on board. And here's $14 an hour. And then they got to take over from the last person that just stopped showing up the day before. And now they're dealing with a mess. Don't know what they're doing. It's just such a cluster. I can't imagine what is going on at these companies, with a mass amount of media, mass marketing. You know, they're all amazing, first class at marketing, but when it comes to doing all of this stuff, it's such time-consuming, tedious work to do this correctly. And the price points that these companies are charging, forget it. Like, there's no way. You can't do anything with it. But yeah, so this is a prime example of why I need, if someone's coming to me to get this done, I need photographs, overhead pictures, so I can see what the hell I'm getting into. Because when these tapes come in, I don't know what some of these people have done with these tapes. I mean, these are dusty. Look at this. And this is so typical. Hold on, you can see here. This is somewhat clean compared to what look, that's all just surface dust. And these all need to be cleaned. And then internally there's mold, in certain parts of the country and the world. These haven't been kept in the cases. They've just been, just discarded. And then I've got to work my way through these things and fix them. I got to open that one up. I mean, what do people do with their tapes? They just let's just smash them. Let's just rip them to pieces. It blows my mind what I see. So, sometimes I get stuff in or see pictures of stuff. It's like an episode of Hoarders. And you just can't imagine, which is why I request photographs in detail of everything that anybody needs a quote from me from, because I want to see what the hell I'm getting into here. Here's another one. I mean, look, what, why is this so scratched? It just boggles my mind. So luckily there are protective cases, but yeah, just abused. And this is why a lot of companies have the perfect excuse, is because people have just used and abused their stuff like that, and then they don't transfer it. They keep the money as well. Most companies do not refund anything. They just go, yeah, we tried. But yeah, I mean, my channel, I've exposed a lot of this stuff, and I got to be really careful because instead of companies spending money on fixing their equipment, they just spend money on lawyers and then send me, multiple page letters going on about all the bullshit and then request me, let's have a look, issue a public retraction and apology for false statements made in the video to be approved before. Oh my God. I mean, these people have got no idea, these companies. So I show video with proof of videotapes transferred poorly, showing the digital files from other companies on their thumb drives, playing it, and then me playing the original tapes and doing the side by side. You can't lie about that. But that one company right there wants me to make a public video lying in it about what? So you want me to pretend to falsify I can't change the crap that you transferred with your logo on everything that's crap quality and showing it in my VCR. I don't understand. Like this industry is so effed. It's unreal. And that is a prime example. Like, spend money on fixing your equipment, not on hiring attorneys to quieten the little guy that's exposing the BS with people's precious memories and lying to them. Anyway, so I digress. But getting back on track with this audio situation, you've got to run them through multiple players. You could sit there and clean the heads and figure all this stuff out, or you could pop it in the fourth VCR and it's clear as day. And, yeah, it works. So you've got to be listening for the audio. And that can come up halfway through the video as well. All of a sudden, the audio head is clogged or whatever. And then now it's buzzing halfway through. So you've got to listen. When I'm looking through the files, checking for the visual, I'm also checking for the audio as well. And if the audio is buzzing, guess what? I got to redo the whole tape. Or sometimes portions, rewind it, cue it up, start from that point on, then edit the good and the pieces together, get rid of the crap. That's what any quality-driven, customer service-driven transfer company should be doing. But most are not. But you get what you pay for. You do this right once, you don't have to visit it again. You buy cheap, you buy 2, 3, 4 times. As I got videos galore on my channel with customers in here going, you're the 4th person to do this. And oh my goodness. And so, yeah. Anyway, all the best to you. If you like a quote, gotmemories.com. If you're looking for cheap pricing, that's not me. I'm reasonable, but I'm not like competing with all this junk because I spend the time to do this correctly, and you're hiring a pro, not a $14 an hour former, fast food worker that is now, handling videotapes for the first day ever in their life, and they didn't even know what a VCR was yesterday, but now they're like, oh, what's this thing? It's a VHS tape. Oh, get to work, and we need you to transfer 100 of these today or else. That's the reality of all of these sweatshop companies that you're seeing advertised on Facebook and stuff. So anyway, cheers, bye.